Okay. Let me just get to the button here. So the agenda looks like this. Actually, Mike is going to start out as usual with the chapter opening, and then we'll move into a fundraising update. I'll let you guys get a sense of where we stand right now and what our plans are moving forward. Um, Always the highlight of the evening is Chuck with the construction update, so he'll come in and he's got some cool stuff to show you. Then it's going to be a focus on the ribbon cutting reunion, just to give you the latest, including how to register, just to make sure everybody's clear on that. Dave has a section on good and welfare, and then Mike's going to close this up again. And as time allows, I don't have a hard stop. I'm happy to take any questions at the end as we go through this. All right. So without further ado, Mike, it's all yours.
Thank you. Well, good evening, brothers. Welcome to our fourth virtual chapter meeting. Usually, I'm the brother with chapter role on these meetings, but I need to intercede with a little announcement here. We are honored to have with us this evening Jim Coughlin, who preceded me by a couple of years in the fraternity house. So I defer my chapter role status to Jim, whose nickname was Zipcock. So if we under good and welfare, we may have a chance to learn more about how that nickname was generated. So anyway, the key word for this meeting is spring. And for those of us that live in a geography with separate seasons, we look forward to welcoming spring and all the promise it holds. We look for foliage to blossom and lawns to turn green. And we think that this year is the year our garden will be envious. Our favorite baseball team will have season-long pennant fever. And our skills at tennis, golf, or pickleball will blossom as well. So we're excited to emerge from the barren landscape of winter. Now, an interesting parallel occurs with the renovation of our fraternity house. Just as the season of spring brings renewal to our surroundings, the reconstruction of the house brings a renewal to the chapter. The house is now emerging from a long winter of physical decline. So when I think of spring on campus, I think of all the activities that emanated from the house. I recall softball games, soccer matches, fun exchanges, a pledge dance, the spring formal, pickup basketball games, and hanging out on the veranda in front of the house, catching some rays and watching the co-eds walk by. Boy, all of these are good memories. The house was the anchor for all of these activities and traditions. And don't forget, for many of the eras, spring rush was a critical part of this time of the year, and it brought great new members to our beloved brotherhood. Lots of work has been done on the house. A critical improvement in the process has been the installation of new windows, a gift from brother Doug Cook, the owner of Feldco Windows and Doors. So let's always give him a little note of special thanks for that. Yes, the new windows will keep out the cold of winter, but right now they can be opened to spring breezes and placing stereos in the open windows and cranking up the music. So the rebirth of the house in its physical nature, with its traditional classic design, sets the tone for a flourishing brotherhood. Walk in, and this old house is young in spirit again. Open up your memory bank and revisit spring and DU and contemplate your own memories. And don't you wish for a time machine and a return to spring on campus, letting the venerable house once more be the core of your existence. Tonight, you'll hear more about the spring renewal of this old house, made young again. Our chapter president tonight is Dan Gibbs, Our VP of Maintenance is Chuck Black. Our VP of Social is Kevin Kinsella. I'll step aside now and let them all bring great information to you in our chapter meeting. Thank you.
Mike, thanks for that great intro. Moving on to fundraising. This is just a high overview of where we are. I'll get into some more detail, but essentially we're $3.653 million in success to date, which is just a phenomenal number. To put it in perspective, we long since in the rearview mirror exceeded Pennington's. That's the professional fundraiser we work with that works with fraternities and sororities all over the country. We exceeded the largest campaign they had in Illinois, and I think we're getting close to being competitive in some other geographies as well. So it's really, really just a testament to a lot of people's generosity. We're up to 242 donors. That's up from 231 when we last talked in December. You can see the average donation, and for our $4 million goal, we're pushing 92%. So a lot to be proud of there. What I want to do is just focus on for a second on a different concept, one we haven't talked about explicitly before, and that's matching donations, matching funds. And this is a very busy slide, so I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'd ask you just to really focus over here on the left-hand side initially. And what we have here is two anonymous brothers from the 88-92 era who have pledged to match $25,000 apiece. And that campaign is closed, and we're waiting for their contributions to come in. But essentially, that $50,000 is coming in from them on a matching basis. And I'll get into more details about each of these campaigns towards the end. And then we have another campaign called How Much Do You Love Do You, where the group has committed $60,000 in matching funds to the extent that $60,000 is donated. And as of the time that this data was put together, we had $12,000 in a matching amount for that. And so essentially, if you take a look at it, we had 110,000 worth of potential matching. The matching amount through March 1st was 62,000, which left us with another 48,000 of potential dollars that could come in if brothers would step forward and make donations to make that a reality. Moving on to the next slide. This one is just a more granular look from before that shows you from the donations we have in hand in the first line, plus the matching contributions I showed you before, and then also looking at the balance of potential matching. So the stuff highlighted in yellow is stuff that is not committed yet, but is a potential for us, 48,000 on that match, and then 13,500 of verbal commitments from brothers that are outside of any kind of matching commitment. So when you take a look at that, now all of a sudden we're in excess of $3.7 million in donations. So on this slide, this is really just a number of words and things I wanted to leave you with as we move forward here. And I do this every time. I want to thank everybody. I know it might seem redundant, but we can't thank everybody enough for the contributions they've made. This has been an incredible effort, not only from the people donating, but from all the people involved in the campaign. It's just heartwarming to see how people have stepped up. Since we last met in early December, we've raised an additional $117,000 from our dedicated brothers. So although we have ebbs and flows in the campaign, we're finding that if we just keep at it and keep talking to you guys, and as the progress in the House advances, we are making some progress that's meaningful in our fundraising goal. A big part of it is the recent success we've had in the match and give programs. And let me just build out this slide and talk a little bit more about it. So the two brothers that I mentioned before who wanted to be anonymous each matched 25,000 in total donations against $25,000. So basically it's 25 from each of them from 25 from that era. So that was $75,000 of impact that's in the bank right now. And then if you take a look at the next one, I talked about the How Much Do You Love Do You, but brothers Willis, Allen, Buis, Geyer, and Ryan have all stepped up, and they're pledging a matching $60,000 that I mentioned before. And something very exciting happened in the last day or two. Brother John Graff, an 81, has stepped forward and donated $25,000 towards that cause. And so instead of having $48,000 left, we really have brought that down to 23,000 of available matching funds. And that can be any brother from the 77 to 82 era, and contributions can come in your commitment, so the money doesn't have to show up. But if you commit to that challenge by the end of March, then it'll go towards that remaining 23,000 that the brothers above have agreed to match. So please consider a contribution if you're in that era. It really is a great way to leverage your donation. And if you're in an era where no one has done a challenge, these have all come spontaneously from the brothers that are within those eras. We're not magically putting these together, but the two anonymous brothers, and then the ones from the late 70s, early 80s have come forward and said we want to do this. So if you have a group of people that you think might be willing to match you, if you and some other people got together, please, feel free to consider that. We've shown that it makes a huge impact here. And then the last topic I wanted to talk about it is a little bit more sanguine. I think I talked to you last time about the fact that we've had cost overruns and contingency funds that have been used up. And there's a lot of details on what's behind that. Maybe a little bit of having done the budget initially a couple of years ago and picking a $4 million goal was probably, we thought, ambitious based on what Pennington told us we could do, but it turns out we're getting pretty close. So what we're going to do, and you'll hear more about this in the coming days and communications or coming weeks and days, we're going to up that thermometer to $4.5 million and keep hammering away at making up some of those shortfalls that we had versus the original budget that we had in mind. So we don't take this lightly. This 4 million was a goal that was a stretch for us, but we're really close. And so whether we get to 4 million or make the 4.5, we just wanted to let you know that your donations are critical still for us reaching where we want to all end up. So that's my update at this stage. I'll move on to the next slide. If you have questions about donations, just come to me. I mean, you might have other brothers on the fundraising committee, and that's fine. But if you're wondering how to donate, where to donate, all the details that go into it, then don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I'm happy to get involved and guide you through all that stuff. Okay, so Chuck, I want to pass it on to you for your fundraising update. Or fundraising, sorry, for your construction update.
Construction update. Construction continues at the DU house. I got to tell you, it's been a little bit hard not to come down here a lot. So I've been making the tour every couple of weeks, staying in tune with the guys. We're doing a lot of things to restore the old nature and nostalgia and historic qualities of the existing building, especially the first floor. You'll see in the upper slide, we are restoring the front fireplace, and that mantelpiece was broken into 3 pieces. So that upper left slide, that top piece has been epoxied and glued back together using modern materials. You'll notice the slide right below that is the old wood mantle that is going to be placed back in place after the front fireplace is ground and polished and restored and rejuvenated. So our goal on the first floor is to restore this building to its original grandeur and that first element of surprise when you walked in that front door. It's hard to see because we don't have the front door on yet, but we have a new patio entranceway that's being done to allow a much broader entry stoop and entrance to the front door. And the front door is fully restored. Some new pieces and some original pieces are going into the front door. So if you look at the third slide over from the top on the far left, that's the front door in the restoration process. You're also looking at the to the left, that group of six. We had the Ipe floor that was put in back in 2010, I think, and we're salvaging and reclaiming a lot of that flooring and putting it back into the original building. We're also making some code updates to the first floor with a new open front stair with a rolling steel fire shutter that conceals itself going up into the ceiling. So we'll have a fully open staircase as you walk in the front door. So you look at the slides on the left, so the upper left towards the middle, that's a lot of the framing on the fourth floor. But that's already in place, and there's already some ductwork and some other things going into the fourth floor, and those feed through to the third floor. We also have ductwork that's being set up to put in the second floor. Most of our electrical is roughed in on floors 3 and 2 and most of floor 1. So we continue to run into little obstacles here and there, but we do need to make code updates. So I know Dan touched on some of the issues with, some of the cost impacts of things. So we did have a contingency budget in mind, but as soon as we peel things open on the building, things get exposed we didn't know about. So while we had a healthy contingency, that contingency as the project goes on starts to diminish. So, funds are being spent well, and it's a huge investment of time and money and effort to keep the membership strong. And I think we'll have a lot of further images to come. If you get a chance, go onto the Facebook website. There's a lot of video tours on there, and we have many things that we're constantly updating there. We had the front tree fully rejuvenated, had a lot of dead wood brought out of there, and did an air spading project on the roots. You'll notice the sign is going to get located out to the front retaining wall. It's kind of tucked back and it's kind of tilting, so that's getting moved to the front of Fourth and Armory. And again, a lot of work on the front of the house. You'll also notice as I walk around, I'm going to flip my screen around. Hopefully you can see that. We've got 2 lifts out here, and contractors are doing an amazing job at restoring the old stucco on the outside. So most of that stucco was rotten, and all of the wood framing behind that stucco was rotten. So you'll see up here, this is all new. So high performance LP Smart Side and that kind of thing is all going back onto the exterior of the building. So hopefully you guys could see all of that. So that's our basketball court right here, but this is all new work, fully restored with high performance materials. All the structure behind here is new. The windows are new. You can also see over here. So things are really shaping up with the house, and it's always fun to come here. I got here about 7 o'clock this morning, and just walking in from 4th Street. I have a hotel down that way, but just walking in and seeing about 20 guys, guys with saws on the basketball court, guys on the lift, a pair, 2 guys on each lift, 2 lifts. We got plumbers inside. We got electricians doing lots of work, HVAC guys. So it just kind of brings back memories of old house cleanups and things where we're all working together as a team. So you've got good representation down here with the crews of guys that are doing the work. It's a fantastic looking property. Having spent a fair amount of time on site. We we're making all those efforts to make this a fantastic property for years to come. So we have talked about having undergrads come through here in April, and I think that's a fantastic time to see how much labor and effort is going into, you know, creating the next history of the next 100 years. It's amazing to walk through that door and be a part of that, and also to take campus tours and go see the Beckman Institute and know that that guy walked through that door at one point. So things are going gangbusters down here, and you know, I encourage everybody to look at the Facebook video tours, give you a good sense of how things are coming together. If you Hey, good morning, brothers. I got some coffee here. Some people nailing nails in a building over there. So we'll check that out in a second.
Today we are at Delta Youth Salon, taking care of this big, beautiful red oak. Trying to increase the vitality a little bit, clean out some dead wood, so the fraternity can have a nice, beautiful tree, several hundred years old out here.
We got new electrical cabling put in here. So this is the view out of the front window. There's a tree, front tree, all put back together with roots and all, and some patio work happening at the front door. Taking a look around here. So that's getting ready to come out. We got some plumbing in from the janitor closet from up above. A lot of these rooms are all roughed in for the electric. Got a lot of ductwork coming in next week. I am in room 6, looking out the front window. Pretty decent day here in Champaign, a little rain, but it's about 50 degrees. Room 7, nice sized rooms. I was worried these were going to be a little narrow, but they do not feel tight at all. I've been doing a lot of college tours in the last couple of weeks, if not months, and been in some of the college dormitories. So some of these rooms that I thought were going to be pretty narrow are actually quite nice. Got all our resilient channel in, keeps the rooms quiet, straightens out a lot of the walls. Walked into room 10 here. Leftover pile of all the steel studs. So we have a suspended drywall ceiling going in, so this wall angle is going to straighten out the entire ceiling. Now room 10's floor is straight, and the ceiling will be straight, and the old floor above it on the 3rd floor is sloped. So on the upper floor, we will be doing some overlays of gypcrete, and so that'll help straighten out some of this. This is furnace closet. This is room 9. This is all set up for the bathroom. It's the break room, room 8. Smells like food in here. Somebody just had their lunch. It's railings are coming off. These were all welded to the stringer, so those are all getting ground down. Temporary guardrail going in. Up here on room 14. So we went ahead and vaulted room 14 and room 15 ceilings, so you can see up into the third floor there. And you can look out. You can see some of the new stucco and trim boards. Those are all in, and the brand new soffits all underneath. It looks tight. So when they come back to do the gutters and the downspouts, that piece of sheet metal will get cleaned up. That's the original copper. And so this fascia here is, there we are. Looking pretty good. See if my car's still there. Yep, it's all good. So I got some siding going on the east side of the building. It's looking tight. Morning, Tim.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I got everything set up with the sawhorses, slide saw. Making sense out of all that. It's looking good.
All cap.
That looks really good. They're all new. The new floor joists for the fourth floor. And now I'm walking into room 15. Got a whole new look to it. Again, a lot of these existing walls, as you get higher and higher into the building, in a lot of wood frame buildings where you have wood framing butted up against masonry construction, the masonry doesn't really compress, but all the wood structure will settle and compress over time as it loses moisture. So what you'll get is something that's static in its state of equilibrium. The masonry's staying where it's at, but the wood is shrinking over here. So that's how you'll get a lot of this kind of slope on an upper floor. So what we are doing is putting a suspended drywall system in, so you'll see a straight angle here all the way around, and then there will be these T-bars that'll come through here, and then the drywall gets attached to that. So this area still needs to get insulated, but you can see the nice vaulted ceiling up into here, and that's the fourth floor. And so we'll have this nice vaulted ceiling in room 15. Just a look out the front window. Tree looks good, and you can see that we have a nice view from the street into the building. So our building has more prominence now by shaping that view. Heading over here, got a little plumbing in there. Got the plumbing going in from the fourth floor. We got the bathroom up there on the fourth floor. Comes in, everything drops through the corridor, and here's our nice stack chase wall all the way down to the basement. Sense of how this kind of lobby area looks. Doing a little bit of spray foam insulation, and I'm gonna end up making this into a study space, using almost looks like a pair of propane cylinders in here. But all that foam gets activated in the nozzle, and there's a couple of big cans of spray foam. So it's one of the bedrooms on the fourth floor. I'm walking down the corridor towards the west fire stair. So on this knee wall space, we'll have a lot of the ductwork that feeds the third floor. So that little triangle space is where all our ductwork is going to end up. Got a water closet here. It's the open vanity area. We got Tim. How you doing, Tim? This is the shower room and toilet. So there's nice spaces up here. And here we are walking into the another bedroom. Still have to get the skylights installed on the 4th floor. The weather's starting to get good outside, so we can take care of a lot more things on the roof and getting those skylights in. So this room's turned out to be a really good sized room. Turning out to be a really nice space. Yeah, I love the smell of Bondo in the morning. Oh, this is how you make it look like new.
Oh yeah, that's the way.
So this side is all new,
It's gonna be black.
and this was the outside. We're gonna paint black. So good stuff. This work is happening now at kind of a more hyperplectic rate, and that's good. You know, September 5th's around the corner. Also, New Eye Week is around the corner too, and August 16th, move-in day. So we've got a lot of things to accomplish, but we've got a lot of things planned out and a path forward to get it done. So it's looking pretty good. I'm feeling good about it. Looks good.
All right, Chuck, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
So these are the slides, some more for you to take a look at. And then the video that I encourage you to look at. And then now moving on, Kevin and crew, I wanted to kind of throw it over to you to talk about the reunion.
Yeah, sitting here smiling with Chuck's presentation. A lot of big smiles. Fun watching the brothers smile. It's a very happy occasion. A lot of hard work and a lot of people pulling in the same direction. Very exciting. September 5th is the arrival date. At the Hilton Garden Inn is where we'll have the evening reception. You can see that's the itinerary that night. A little bonus, the Hilton Garden Inn at Papa Del's is about a block away from there. So if you're planning your late night snacking, that you may want to put that on your agenda for you and your brothers. Saturday morning and midday will be spent at the house, and there'll be a shuttle bus back and forth between the hotel facilities and the house. We'll have pastries in the morning and go from 9 to 2. We'll have the house open and ready for tours, and it should be quite a day. I'm told it's supposed to be sunny and 70 degrees that day, so it should be amazing, adding to the atmosphere. So that's the plan with that. We've asked for that, and then on Sunday, the brothers will be on their own. I'm sure some people will still stop by the house and see other parts of campus. So that's the overall agenda. You've gotten some things by mail, by email. You'll get more components to it coming in. Registrations are coming in extremely strong. We have now we just today went over 100 paid attendees for the reunion already, and that's 5 months ahead of time. That's pretty sweet. So it's gonna be quite a party. We'll get ready for that. As far as we'll talk about hotels in a second, but the undergrads have been great. It's been really fun to goof around with you guys. I know many of you guys are on the call. Peter's been our main linchpin, probably because he's the best looking guy in the house, but he also seems to be pretty smart. Peter, maybe you could tell us a little bit about what some of the guys are working on. And it looks like you're muted now, but if you can unmute and give us some perspectives. Maybe you could advance, Dan.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin. Hey, guys. First of all, I just want to speak on behalf of all undergrads. I know there's a lot of us on here, but I know that also a lot of guys couldn't make it. It was the week before spring break, so a lot of guys have tests today and tomorrow. But we just really want to thank all of you for your support. cannot do this without you. And so we appreciate just all the types of support, whether it's Chuck and his architectural skills or just monetarily. Like we really appreciate it. We can't say it enough. But we're really looking forward to the reunion coming up September. As you can see on this slide, we are starting to assign positions, and guys, we're really excited. Kevin came to our chapter about, when was that? A month ago, I think, a month or two. And we just talked about like, what do we need from undergrads at this reunion? And so we set up some positions just to give guys some purpose and like have some structure there. And so we've got VP drinks, taking some of that weight off of the alumni so that we can go and grab the beverages, pastries, same idea. Bus on Friday. I spelled Jonathan's name wrong. If he's on the call, sorry, Jonathan. But that's just these roles are really just administrative, just to help everything continue to go smooth, especially like cleanup. I made sure to sign up for cleanup on the important days, just make sure that we have the house ready for you guys. We will keep it ready, but I'll be on them. And then we've even got VP music. I'm really looking forward to it. These guys are excited for this. I think we're gonna look into getting some nice polos for the undergrads, just so that we can stand out. But yeah, it's really going great. Thanks to Kevin and Dave for putting all this together.
It's been a real treat. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fun 5 months for sure. That's I can't emphasize enough to those of you on the call who are not lucky enough to be in Champaign tonight, the enthusiasm of these men. It's a great crowd. We would have been really lucky to be on campus in the house with these guys at the same time. So it's a win. It's a win all the way around. So thanks for everything, Peter, and all the guys. Make sure you pass along the thanks. I'll be bugging you soon about next chapter meeting we'll be at. So you hang tight, all right? All right. You can advance, Dan. Slide. Basically, the drill here is you can see the URL at the bottom. That's how you register. And there's 2 steps. We'll go through that in a second. You need to register and pay. It's 2 separate steps. We've tried to make it easy as possible using free tools that are available to us, and we'll show you how that works. But the best thing you can do, like we would always do with social affairs at the house, is use some peer pressure and get your boys here. Get people coming. You'll never have this kind of a shot again. None of us will. And the question about hard liquor, that won't be a problem. There'll be plenty. And don't worry about that. That's why we have a VP of drinks. So we'll be fine. You can advance, Dan. When you use that URL, this is the page you'll go to. Many of you on the call have already registered and paid, which is great. You just click on the click to register now button, and it'll walk you through the different steps. Why don't you go ahead and advance, Dave or Dan? There's 4 steps. Make sure you do step 1 and step 2. There are 2 different screens that will open, 2 different tabs that will open. So you'll need to do both of those to complete the process. If not, we'll email you back and get you all set up. Many people have also done step 3. Several brothers have given an additional donation over and above the registration fee. And that's obviously most welcome, especially given the cost overruns that we're working on and trying to reduce our debt and keep our cash flows where they need to be. Step 4 about reserving your room. We've already gone through, what's the number? So 136 room nights, I think. Crazy in the first couple of weeks. So we're beefing up the block. So if you go in and you have trouble registering at the hotel, go back in a day or 2 or a week later, and we should have more rooms opened up there, and it shouldn't be a problem. There's a reunion mailbox on all the materials that you've been sent, and you can just email us there. We'll tell you the status of the hotel block, and hopefully we can get it all done in the 2 hotels, but who knows? A lot of people are into this, and it's a lot of people really quick. So I'd encourage you to sign up as fast as you can so you can be in the main block at the main facilities. You can advance. I think that's redundant, so we can keep going. Same. This is what it looks like when you do go through the process. So the payment is different from step 1. Keep going.
Actually, if you go back to the last slide for a moment, step 1, just something to point out. One more slide back, Dan, please. That one. Like Kevin said, we're using free tools, which means we don't have the ability to really manage this process from a technology perspective. So one of the things we've seen is that people have filled out the form but forgotten to hit the submit button, which is that little gray button left of the long arrow. Once you do that, you'll see the screen to the right, which is your confirmation screen. And then additionally, you should receive an email. So if you don't receive an email with the information you provided for your registration, this step one, then you'll have to go back and do that. Make sure you just scroll down to the bottom and hit that submit button. Sorry to interrupt, Kevin.
No, good catch, Dave. Good catch. And just so you know, that's Dave Tarboletti. He's the backbone of this operation. All the digital stuff. We wouldn't be here without him. He's been an amazing friend and amazing helper here. There's step 3.
Thank you.
In advance. And there's how you get to the hotels. If you have trouble registering the hotel, that means the block might be full for what you're looking for. You can also call the hotel directly and then book with them directly as well.
Hey, Kevin, can I just mention one thing? Because there are a couple of alums who contacted me about getting the block's really set up for king size beds, is my understanding. I don't know how many queen size, double queen size they have in the various rooms, but they were not allowing queen size in the block. But if you call the hotel, there's a chance that, they'll give you some direction on how to either register and then have them switch you, or some idea of how you might accomplish that. But I think a lot of couples maybe you're getting along and want to be in the same bed, but if there's some reason you want to be separated from your significant other, then you might need to call the hotel.
Yeah, if you need separate beds, that's a different counseling service. This reunion is just, for us. But you can call and probably make that work. I believe the hotels are about 90% king beds. That's why the block is set up that way. So you'll need to make a certain call. You can advance. I'll pass it back over to Dave. Hope. And last shot is, if you want to see somebody there, bug them, get them there. You'll never have another shot like this again the rest of your life. You just won't. Go ahead, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. We'll move on to good and welfare, and I can't wait to hear that story, Mike, about the nickname. But to kick it off, wanted to let everyone know you should have received an email from our partner Pennington, who handles our communication about this. We've decided to host a DU Illinois-wide March Madness bracket challenge. So works off the commonly available NCAA website. And what we've done is we're going to take 50% of the pool and give that to the winner. Hopefully that winner buys his drinks at the reunion. And the other portion goes to the house. So you can find that on our website, scan the QR code there to get to it, or follow the link. In fact, I'll cut and paste it in for you. We hope you'll join us. It's going to be a lot of fun, because I'm hoping associated with this event is also the kind of friendly DU Lounge 5 banter that goes along with any sporting event. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Dave. Mike, we've reached your closing.
Okay. I would like to defer to our senior chapter role person here to tell the story about his nickname. Are you available to do that?
Enjoying this call. I didn't realize you were trying to embarrass me.
No, we're trying to make you famous.
Yeah, well, no, I had all the notoriety I needed. It's so funny. It's so many years ago. A lot of the details escape me in my old age. I mean, we're talking about something that happened probably 57, 58 years ago. The only thing I really recall and could tell you, and it was given to me by Bob Lukes, was the name of the brother who laid it on me, and it was also one of my roommates in one of the basement rooms for at least a year. But he was trying to embarrass me with supposedly sounds he had heard from one of the rooms in the basement when I was entertaining. We'll just leave it at that. So.
Was there some involvement where you were kidnapped and taken to the quad in a bed and
No.
with a bed sheet and nothing else?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, that wasn't you. Okay, that
No.
was somebody else from your era. You guys had a very colorful era.
Yeah, if that had happened to me, I would have remembered that.
Okay. All right.
You know, hey, one thing you're talking about getting brothers to go is, can you guys publish a list of brothers by class who's signed up to come? You know, one of the inducements for me, because I'm obviously one of the oldest around, is what the ability to meet other people that I would know. And I have done a very good job of keeping in touch with folks, but knowing who's coming might be helpful in inducement. Is that doable, or is that a problem?
No, we talked about that before. So there's two aspects to this. We got a request for somebody to see the whole alumni directory, and you know, it shouldn't be the case, but from a confidentiality agreement, we said just sending out the alumni directory, you know, that could get to anybody eventually was not the way to go. But we did say when we got further along, we had an opt-in process. When you register, it's going to ask you whether you will share your registration, willing to let other people know about it. So at some point, Kevin, jump in, but we're planning to make that available to folks, I think, right?
Yeah, at some point. We'll definitely get that out sometime in the next 60 to 90. Boy.
Yeah, you've already published a list of people that have donated and what category of donation they're in. And so just publish a list of people who said they're going to come to the reunion wouldn't seem to be any more revealing than that, for sure.
Yeah, stay tuned. We'll get it out in a little while.
Thank you.
No, that's a good question. And it does make a difference. If you want to bug somebody, you don't know where they're at. I mean, you can't just guess. So stay tuned.
Okay.
All right, brothers. Well, I trust that the chapter meeting tonight rekindled a few memories of spring on campus and the central role of the chapter house in those good times. So the rebirth of the physical space will definitely help renew the intangible brotherhood. And September reunion is your opportunity to climb aboard the time machine and return to the house and connect with the brothers that were part of your great experience. Great stories are going to be told, and by being present, you can help embellish the story, or if necessary, you can defend yourself. So come and add your presence to the brotherhood once again. This is, as Kevin stated, a most unique opportunity, and there will be no makeup. See you in September. Thank you.
Great, Mike. Thank you so much. That was awesome. So if you looked at the screen, I alluded to this before, but June 10th is our next update call. So we'll be certainly sending information about that as we get closer. But you pencil it into your calendar at this stage because that's when we'll do it. And we do have some time left over. We want to be respectful of time. We did have something on the agenda for answering any questions. So if there's any burning issues that you wanted to bring forward here and bring it to the group, we're happy to try and field those. Everybody's satisfied. I love that.
There's nothing in the chat, huh?
I have not been monitoring the chat because I've been driving here. Can someone take a quick look? Tarbo, can you look?
No questions in the chat. A couple offers from Greg to help with an after event room. And a very good point that some brothers may be traveling together and wishing to share a room. So the double queen bed option would be a wise addition. And another one from Steve about a lot of Airbnb homes within a quarter mile of the house and Green Street that are available.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was one walkable to Cam's and the Red Lion, but I couldn't get my 92, 93 brothers to agree to do it. So that one's still available.
Hey, Steve Groney, what's up?
Not much. I'm looking forward to this. I am rallying. I'm getting guys, I think this week, the kind of group chat I've got going, I think I've had 4 that have said yes within the last 24 hours. A couple, Jason Schuhart, Jason Hall, a couple others are registering. So we're getting there. We'll have a good representation from that crew, from our crew, I think. And, I'm hoping we can find some video of fight night, back SIGEP's fight night when Chuck Fleck just destroyed all competition. But we'll see.
I
The
think you can
VHS recorders
enter.
were a little heavy at the time, so.
Don't enter me in that now.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Good times.
I'm already looking forward to this. This is going to be a great reunion. Thank you for the support. We really can't do it without you. So if there's any questions still that you want to bring to our attention, you can always send an email to one of us or give us a buzz, and we're happy to field them. So thank you for your time this evening, and we'll see you June 10th, if not sooner.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Take care, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys.